好的，欢迎来到我们的赛后采访环节，我是主持人 Reirachu， 然后当然要恭喜 FAK Esports 战队赢下今天本场的比赛。Hey guys, and welcome to the post-match interview. Of course, I'm Reirachu. Here with me today is none other than FAK Esports mid laner Pretender. Pretender, can you introduce yourself? 那今天邀请到了我们再来到我们的赛后采访，就是 FAK Esports 中路选手 Pretender， 先跟大家打个招呼吧。
Hello， 我是 FAK 的中路 Pretender。
Of course, congrats on getting the smooth 3-0 victory today. I have to ask, did you expect the series to go so well? 那首先就是恭喜你们轻易的以3-0的成绩拿下今天的比赛，想问就你现在的感受会是如何呢？
还蛮开心的。
He said he's pretty happy. So I want to ask about this a bit more in detail because during the regular season in the 2 rounds, of course, you guys went up against MFT twice and you went 1-1. But the time that you guys lost to MFT was just 2 weeks ago. So I want to ask, in this short amount of time, in this last 2 and 3 weeks, how exactly did the team make all of these changes to let you guys have such a smooth 3-0 victory today? 那想就是再仔细的聊一下，就是关于例行赛的时候，你们对上 MFT 的那个战绩就是1-1，可是输的那一局就是才只是2周前的事情。那想问，就是你们的战队就是在这短短的期间内是做了什么样的调整呢？就是让你们今天能够这么轻易的拿下这3-0。
因为上次我们对 BP 出了点问题，然后导致打野太弱势，然后一直被入野，所以这次就选一些比较强势的打野，保住前面的发育，这样。还有在运营的方面就做出了一些调整，然后打得比较顺畅，这样。
So he said that why the last time that when they were facing off against MFT, where they went wrong during that game, he said was mainly because of problems in the picks and bans phase. He said that they kind of messed up their BP by picking champions such as weaker side junglers, and when they were playing in that game with a weaker jungler, it kind of just messed up the entire flow. They weren't able to get pressure or an advantage that time around. So the way they did things different during the playoffs was, of course, they switched around their BP. Today, especially, they went for those more aggressive early game junglers as well, and they were able to play a lot better with that. So the next question I want to ask is that in that game number 1, when MFT chose to not ban the Ahri and you guys were able to pick that champion, because the casters mentioned as well that during the regular season, one actually hasn't really shown a lot of champions that are good to face off against Ahri and lane. So I wanted to ask, was the fact that you guys picked this Ahri more of the fact that she's stronger in the patch right now, or is it something that you did specially versus MFT and versus Wen? 那接下来问题想问的就是 MFT 那个第一把是把阿里给放出来了，然后主播他好像是汤米也是就有提到，就是Wen他是这赛季就是他的角色池的话，他并没有很多就是很好打对线很好打阿里的那些角色，所以想问就是你们第一把会选择用那个阿里是因为他现在是在版本中很强的一个角色吗？还是就是特地用来针对就对面中路的角色？
没有，单纯就是我们觉得阿里的优先度比较高，所以就首选这样，就版本最强势的中单，觉得是。
你们有预测到就是他们会把阿里给放出来呢？
有预想过，但也有预想被 ban。
So he said that they weren't actually thinking too far. They weren't really thinking so much of trying to pick Ahri deliberately versus Wen because he didn't have a good counter. What they really just picked her because she's strong right now. They weren't really expecting her to actually be let through during the picks and ban phase, but the fact that it was let through meant that they just instantly wanted to pick it because she's so good in lane right now. And they kind of didn't expect Ahri to be let through, but they also weren't too sure what MFT was going to do. So the next question I want to ask, it's about game number 2, when Hollow was trying to give you the blue buff, but there was that little mistake where his red buff actually took the buff instead, and you weren't able to get blue as LeBlanc. What was the communication like at that point? Can you explain? 接下来想问的就是关于第二把，就是就是关于红 buff 的那时候，就是 Hollow 本来是想让那个没有，他是本来想让那个蓝 buff 给你，结果被他自己的红 buff 给烫死了。然后之后也看到 Pretender 在游戏内也亮出了那个哭的表情，想问你们可以解释一下那时候的情况吗？
就团练试过蛮多次，就亮个表情就算，没办法，一滴血我也控制不了。
So he said that it's something that they practiced a lot during their scrims, actually. But I mean, the fact that he just wasn't able to get blue buff, then it was just down to so little health. Is not something that he can control. So it happened. He just moved on. He just used the crying emote, and they just went on with it. So I want to ask, usually within the team, after your teammates or you yourself make this type of small little mistake, what is the reaction usually from your teammates? So do you guys like kind of BM each other first, or do you guys just let it slide? 那想问，就是通常就出了这种小失误之后呢，队友会有什么样子的反应？就是是不是会先气愤一下吗？还是其实大家并不会那么的介意呢？
没有很介意，就笑一下就没了。
He said that they don't really mind too much. They just kind of like laugh about it and then they move on. So that's great. That's a healthy type of team relationship that you like to see. I want to ask also that right now your performance as well as your top laner are particularly outstanding. I want to ask who's the main shot caller on your team. 那目前队上就是你还有上路表现是相当的亮眼，就想问一下，就是队内现在主 call 会是由谁发起的呢？
基本上都是由打野辅助跟 AD， 然后因为他们就比较有经验，就 call 的会比较准确，然后我可能就比较听 call 这样。
So he said that usually the 3 people who are doing the main shot calling for the team will be their jungler, their support, as well as their AD. He said because the 3 of these members for FAK have more experience than the rest of them, and whereas for him, especially compared to him, he has less experience, and he's more of the type of player to just listen to his teammates' calls and listen to them. He says that the 3 of them have more accurate calls. Usually when they make the call, they're right. Great. So next, I want to ask, and this question also is from our English caster because I'm not sure if a lot of our other audience do know about this, but Nightstar, his name is Frank. So, you know, since your team became a thing at the start of spring season, and when there was that announcement that came up, I'm pretty sure he's been backing this team since the start. He wanted to ask for your next match, are you more looking forward to playing PSG or DCG? 那最后一个问题想问的就是就是我们英文台的赛品Nightstar， 它的名字其实是 Frank， 所以其实呢就是FAK 你们官宣之后到现在，就是他一直都有在支持你们的这支队伍，毕竟就名字一样吧，所以这问题是由他来问的。他是想就是你们在接下来的晋级赛中比较希望碰上 PSG 呢，还是 DCG 呢？
应该是比较希望碰到 DCG 的，因为至少一胜一负嘛，然后打 PSG 就被打得蛮惨，就太强了，打不赢。
So he said that between PSG and DCG, of course, the team would rather face off versus DCG, especially looking at their regular season results. They went 1-1, and he thinks that they do have a chance versus DCG. Whereas versus PSG, they're too hard. He thinks that the team can't win versus them, so he would rather see DCG in the next round of playoffs. All right, thank you so much, Pretender, for the interview. Of course, good luck for the rest of playoffs. 好的，那非常感谢 Pretender 接受今天的赛后采访，当然也要祝 Frank Esports 下周加油。 好的，那接下来就是直播台咯。
谢谢。